Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Unfortunately, we've kind of moved into a new sort of era of the morning show. As many of you know, we were unable to download a lot of our videos from Facebook, our live videos that we were shooting. Unfortunate. So now we're moving into a pre-roll version of the morning show so that you can check us out. We're going to shoot it in the morning, upload it. We're actually going to try to get into some more graphical enhancements and that sort of thing. Maybe put the weather up so it'll appear right here next to my face. Things of that nature. So appreciate your patience as we kind of work through this new model of doing the old morning show. Hope you enjoy it. If you are watching early in the morning when we upload it, we do appreciate that. If you're watching online, we will, of course, be uploading these shows to www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. And part of the reason that we've moved to this new format is because we couldn't upload the video version of it if people wanted to watch that. So moving on into a new era of the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Traffic this morning already starting to back up. You're looking at some emergency construction on I-12 westbound. It's got a lot of traffic backed up to Jubin Road today. So you're looking at some delays starting to occur on the surface streets. If you haven't left yet, you're going to be looking at some heavy delays this morning heading into Baton Rouge. Of course, normal delays in and around the larger high schools. It's Denham, Walker, and Live Oak. You're also looking at some delays on 64, but heavy delays on Greenville Springs once you take a left off of 64 there. You're also looking at some minor delays at Jubin Road and 190 as folks kind of decide, maybe I'm not going to take I-12 this morning. Currently 65 degrees, 77 is your high. It's going to get warm today. However, bottom's going to drop out this afternoon. Going to be looking at a lot of rain for several days, actually. Thunderstorms lasting through Wednesday. So please keep an eye on that. Please prepare for heavy rain. And it's going to be wet through Wednesday. Then that temperature is going to lower just a bit. You're going to be looking at lower 70s during the day, upper 40s, lower 50s at night for a few days after that rain stops. Again, that rain lasts through Wednesday. Today, pardon me, is Nick Touye Give Back Day. Of course, Nick Touye being a former Baton Rouge police officer who was injured several years ago, the summer of 2016, critically injured in the shooting on Airline Highway. Several other members of the force from Livingston Parish were killed. Nick has been fighting for his health and his life in Houston. The family needs as much money as they can get as they continually battle it out with insurance. So they are at TIRR, Herman Memorial Hospital, which is where they do a lot of cutting-edge rehabilitation type things. And so you can read all about it. They do have a Facebook page, Nick Touye Strong. They give daily updates. They're into almost day 1400 of Nick fighting for his life. So today is Nick Touye Give Back Day. It's at Los Sombreros in Walker, as well as Uno Dos Tacos in Denham Springs. If you're in Baton Rouge, you can also go to the Uno Dos Tacos location there. Or if you happen to be in Lafayette, you can go to the Los Sombreros location in Lafayette. 15% of proceeds today go towards Nick Touye's family. Again, that's at any Los Sombreros location and any Uno Dos Tacos location. Those are owned by Mr. Tommy Stojak. So again, please keep that in your mind. Maybe go get a taco or two this morning, or perhaps some fajitas tonight with the family. But 15% of all proceeds from Uno Dos Tacos and Los Sombreros go to Nick Touye's family. Parish Council. Actually, before we jump into the Parish Council, did want to announce on Friday, Woody Overton, and if you remember, Mr. Jim Rathman and Mr. Woody Overton of Real Life, Real Crime podcast sat down with yours truly to discuss their podcast, how they got into it, sort of a little bit about the two of them and why they enjoy what they do and that kind of thing. Really a couple of great guys. They have partnered with the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, for whom they used to work, and they are going to be looking to try to crowdsource some information on the Barbara Blunt case. Sorry, it's that early in the morning. Miss Blunt was apparently abducted by force in May of 2008. Unfortunately, in the weeks that followed, heavy rains made it very difficult to perform a search for her body, and there's just a lot of unanswered questions surrounding the case. So Woody Overton sat down with Sheriff Jason Arndt on Friday, and they announced together that they would be looking into this via the Real Life, Real Crime podcast, trying to crowdsource information. What does that mean? They're going to be talking about the details of the case, trying to bring in new ideas, seeing if anybody might know something who in the past might have been unwilling to speak out or speak up, that sort of thing. So they're going to be looking for the public's help, the help of those who really listen to their podcast all the time. And again, they'll be that show will be starting up soon. We're going to be collecting the details today of when their first episode is going to come out. Parish Council, as we mentioned earlier, they're going to be they unanimously are going to be pursuing that Attorney General's opinion as to whether or not CAFA, who currently is run by the East Baton Rouge Parish Council, can distribute tax exemption status to projects in and around the Baton Rouge area. That doesn't just include East Baton Rouge Parish. Currently, there is a project that is seeking a property tax exemption status through CAFA, through their pilot program, that's payment in lieu of taxes, on Buddy Ellis Road. So the interesting thing here is that, of course, the CAFA is run by East Baton Rouge Parish Council. They do collect a management fee, I guess you can call it. And of course, they are determining whether or not other parishes are going to get property taxes. We sat down with Mr. Gary Frog Talbert last Wednesday. There's a podcast at www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast for you to check out. We really get into the details of this stuff. But now they're looking to try and convince East Baton Rouge Parish Council that this is just not a good idea. It's not something that the local taxing entities want, which would be the Parish Council, the school board, and the sheriff. All three are against it. And, by getting an AG's opinion and by also sending off, trying to get legislators to make new law or undo that law, they're trying to get the East Baton Rouge Parish Council on their side. Right now, there are several members on the EBR Council that are for. There are several members that are against. And then there are a couple that are on the fence because they're worried about the liability. Mr. Talbert believes that if they get the AG's opinion, and it's favorable, however long that might take, and if they get a new legislative body to either rescind that law giving CAFA this ability or to amend it, that might move them in the right direction that, okay, there's not going to be any liability. This is what the people of this parish want. We're just going to vote no. They got a couple of weeks to get all that to come together before East Baton Rouge Parish Council meets again. There was a lot of back and forth near the end of the Parish Council meeting last Thursday about Carew Harris Road. This is on South 4-H Club Road. There are several homeowners along the road. Also provides access, or used to the river. The parish revoked that status as a parish road. It became a private road, wherein the hunting club at the end of the road decided to close it off and put up a gate. Now the homeowners and landowners along the road there are upset about the fact that there's a gate and trying to get more, I guess you can say, control over their property. Trying to figure out how. I'll be working with the parish attorney, trying to figure out exactly what kind of litigation the parish is looking at, trying to see exactly what they want to do. It seemed like the gate was supposed to go at the front of the road, but then they couldn't put it there, but the hunting club put one at the end of the road. It was about where the gravel started on the road. There's a lot of moving pieces on this one. There was a lot of shouting, a lot of anger. If you want to go check out that parish council meeting, probably one of the most watched parish council meetings, about 800 views. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out. Just type in Livingston Parish Council. You'll see the February 27th. It starts at about an hour and 48 minutes in, maybe an hour 50, and lasts for about 20 minutes. If you're interested, there is a lot of shouting, so there's some entertainment value there. But if you're interested in the details of this, it will come out when we finally get an answer from Mr. Chris Moody. But there's a lot of stuff going on there. Finally, as we mentioned last week, it looks like the parish is going to get some free help with regard to the substantial damage inspections that FEMA had been requiring for a while. Again, the parish had narrowed a list of 4,000 homes that FEMA provided down to about 3,300 duplicate addresses and that sort of thing. But these are homes in special flood hazard areas that almost definitely flooded, and definitely flooded enough for at least an inspection of substantial damage. Of course, Leighton Ricks and Mark Harrell, Leighton Ricks being parish president, Mark Harrell being the Department of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Director, did say that they made a lot of choices about letting folks just rebuild their homes and go back. The parish council at the time backed them up on that. So there's going to be an interesting time going forward. There is an ordinance on the parish books that says if you were substantially damaged, you have to mitigate, which in most cases mean elevate. Now, there are grant programs available for that. However, because of a story that we published, they will be getting that assistance for free. At first, FEMA said that they weren't going to send help. They're no longer going to help communities, but now FEMA says they might help them out of the Baton Rouge office. And the fire marshal, Mr. Butch Browning, state fire marshal, said that he's going to send help to do some of these inspections. Whether or not the inspections are the full substantial damage inspections remains to be seen. That's one of the questions that we're looking to get an answer to. However, the parish council did approve the packet, which is the substantial damage response packet, which is supposed to go as part of the flood ordinance that is on the books, for a public hearing. So that will come up, I guess that would be March 12th, will be the first parish council meeting of March, and they will discuss that issue. So a lot going on at the parish council, a lot of moving parts, but it is always interesting to see some of these issues with the smaller roads sort of, or some smaller things kind of blow up into these interesting situations. But you do understand you're talking about personal property. That would be Carey Road. So we'll have a lot to talk about with the parish council over the next few days and probably the next few weeks as we move into their first meeting of March. It is baseball and softball season, of course. On last Thursday's paper, it was all about baseball and softball. There were smaller sections for news and lifestyle, did a whole lot of baseball and softball. Mr. Rob DeArmond and Mr. William Weathers did a great job with that. You can check that out. Of course, now we're getting into the scores. Tons and tons and tons of baseball and softball scores at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. You can go check them out there. In playoff basketball, Walker did top Central Lafourche with Mr. Jalen Cook scoring 38 in what is probably his home, the end of his home stretch here at Walker. And of course, he is a LSU commitment and signee, so he'll be heading there. Doyle beat South Plaquemine, the Doyle boys, in sort of a game of the century type deal. Doyle, the 7th seed, played South Plaquemine, who was 26. Doyle beat them, scored over 100 points. So they had a big game, big start to their playoff run. They're going to be looking to go deep. French Settlement, Maurepas, Live Oak, and Holden all had their seasons end. And, excuse me, hang on. And we're back. Sorry about that. Had to take a quick break real quick. Take a phone call. Do apologize. We are back. And let's see. We were talking about basketball. Sorry about that. French Settlement, Maurepas, Live Oak, and Holden's boys did exit the playoffs on Friday. You are, of course, looking at French Settlement and Doyle girls, both from that 10-2A district, heading into the heading into the state tournament that begins this Thursday. If they win Thursday, they will both play. They'll play each other actually on Friday for on Saturday for a 2A state championship. So good luck to Doyle girls and French Settlement girls. We'll talk more about that Thursday when that comes up. The Special Olympics were on February 21st. Again, they're at Live Oak. Everybody leaves a winner when you're talking about the Special Olympics. You can check that out. www.livingstonparishnews.com/living. And of course, the big story going around right now is Mr. Tristan Hilbun and Sadie. I'm sorry. Tristan Hilbun and Sadie Forbes. Sorry about that, guys. Rescued a Miss Rita Armstrong. The story goes, and you can read it in a lot more detail at www.livingstonparishnews.com/living. But the two were driving along Highway 16 when they saw a car going about, as they said, about 15, 20 miles an hour, just sort of bank right and end up in a pond. Now, Miss Rita Armstrong was the driver, and they just jumped in action. They pulled over, threw on their emergencies, called 911, and then jumped in and pulled Miss Rita Armstrong out. So thank you to you two for being a pair of heroes, and thanks for saving Miss Armstrong. And again, you can read the full detailed report on everything as Mr. David Gray went and interviewed the two. It's at www.livingstonparishnews.com/living. One last time with the traffic, of course, there's some accidents and some delays going on I-12 westbound and some road work. You're looking at delays from O'Neill to Jubin. They're heavy, so it's pushing traffic onto the surface street. So you're looking at delays at 4H Club Road, River Road, and 190. You're also looking at delays on 64 heading into Central, as well as delays on 4H Club Road. On Greenville Springs Road, heading south if you take a left off 64. Still looking at some traffic in and around the major high schools as those folks are trying to funnel out of school, so please keep an eye on that. It's currently 65 degrees, 77 degrees your high. It's going to be 65 as your overnight low. You're looking at a lot of rain coming this afternoon. It's going to keep temperatures low over the next 3 days. You're looking at rain Monday afternoon through Wednesday. Going to keep those temperatures down. You're looking at probably your low 70s during the day and high 40s, low 50s at night. So please keep an eye on that. Whew. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show under our new format. We are doing a pre-roll video format, trying to get through that as best as we can, as we could not download our Facebook Live videos anymore. So we're going to try doing it this way. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. We'd love to check it out. And we hope you have a great day. Please remember that we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube once a week in print on Thursdays. We are also online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We have an app to go with that. Have a great day. Please remember, if you haven't left yet, take an umbrella with you to work today because it is going to be raining this afternoon. It's going to be raining through Wednesday. So please stay safe, stay dry, and we will see you tomorrow morning.